What up YouTube gang, this is 40K, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to show you guys how to do some vocal chops in Logic, and I use this effect in one of my songs called Promises, so I'm going to just play you guys a little sample of that right now.
I told you once, baby, I told you once what I know. You got to let it go. I told you once, baby, I told you once what I know. You got to let it go.
So that's the effect right there in this section right here with the vocal. So that's what I'm going to show you guys how to do today. First things first, let's load up the sample. Sample I used is from Splice, and it's this one right here.
I told you once, baby, I told you once what I know.
So I'm gonna just grab that and drop it into Logic. Line it up with the beginning. Turn this all the way down. So first thing I'm gonna do is, it shows us a BPM in Splice here, 100 BPM. So let's change that. And let's play that back, and it should be on time.
I told you once, baby, I told you once what I know.
Alright, now let's chop it so it's like perfectly 8 bars. So I'm gonna chop it right there. So now we can see it's a perfect 8-bar loop. Let's line it back up to the beginning. And then we're gonna set our BPM back to the original, which is 114. And now to make sure it's on time, let's go ahead and click Option. And once you see this icon pop up near the end of the audio file, just click there, hold it, and drag all the way in to the desired length. So I want to do 8 bars again. Right there. Now when we play it back, it'll be lined up to 114 BPM.
I told you once, baby, I told you once what I know. You got to let it go.
Alright, dope. So now let's chop up the sample. Hit T on the keyboard and then I to bring up the scissors tool. And for this one, I chopped it right here. And what we're going to do is hold Option and click. And what that does is chops up the sample evenly at that point. So I believe that's like a quarter note or 1/8 note. But it pretty much chops it up all the way evenly. So it's easier for us to play on the keyboard. After that, what we're going to do is load it into the sampler. So let's click the sample. Make sure we got it all selected. And then hit Control and E on the keyboard if you are on Mac. And these are the settings you're going to want to use to get this effect. So you guys can just take a screenshot of this. Just make sure it's all the same. And then hit Enter. And we'll see here now that it put it into the sampler all chopped up. So we can delete the original audio file now. We don't need that. So now what we're going to do is load up the sampler, set our level to full, change it to mono, and then change our voices to 1. So pretty much what this will do is make sure that when we play the keys, we only play one note at a time. So none of the samples will overlap when we play it. So let me just turn the volume down on this first, and I'll show you guys.
You let it got what I once was.
So even if you play 3 notes on the keyboard, it'll only play 1. So this will make sure when you're playing it, it doesn't bleed into the other samples. And then also what we're going to do is just crank up our release to full. So when you hit the key on the keyboard, it plays a full sample. Instead of having it all the way down. It just depends on how you want to play it. For this one, I want it on full so that when you play it, it plays a full sample like this.
Let go.
Alright, so once that's done, we can close that down. Let's delete this. And this is what I played originally for the sample.
Let go. Let go. Go. Let go. Let go.
Alright, so that's pretty much the effect there. And then I'll show you guys the plugins I used on it to pitch it down and also add some more just like delay and reverb on there. So let's load up our mixer window with X. First thing I used was this plugin called Little Altar Boy from Sound Toys. This is pretty much just like the stock Logic pitch correction. What is it called? 1 second. Vocal transformer. Same thing as that. So what you can do in here is you can change the pitch, you can change the formant, and then the mix of it as well. The only thing the Logic one doesn't have is the drive and the mix function. So what I did was just pitch it down on the formant to -7.5, and it gave it this sound. So you can do a lot of dope pitching in here. You can turn it up from here as well. And mess with the mix. So this is like the dry wet knob. Alright, I'm gonna just put it back to what it was, 7.5. Next thing I did was just put this click plugin on there because I noticed there was like a little bit of a clip from when I chopped it, so this just kind of got rid of that. And then I used the stock Logic EQ. So with this I just rolled off some of the low end, and then I got some of these unwanted frequencies out as well. And then I also took off some of the high end as well because it's sounding a bit sharp to me. So let's hear that before and after. So just kind of contained the vocal a bit. And then from there I put some reverb on it. I used a little plate from Sound Toys, but you can just use any old reverb. Stock Logic one will work as well. This is what it sounds like. After that, I used a flanger. This is my go-to flanger. This is called the Meadow Flanger. It's from Waves. It's really good. And this is the preset I used on this vocal. And then I set my mix to 15. So it sounds like this. So I gave it some width and just made it sound a little bit more cool. If you don't have that, you could just go in here, Modulation Flanger, and this one works well as well. You can just shuffle through the presets and find something you like. After that, I used a little bit of a delay. This is my go-to delay as well. It's the H delay from Waves. And for my settings, I put it on ping pong delay so that you'll hear it pan left and right. And it's on quarter note. Our dry wet is at 10. I always turn this off, the analog, because it gives it a lot of like a static sound if you leave it on. And then I put it on lo-fi as well. And then I rolled off some of the high end and also took out some of the low end with the filters here. So let's hear that. So it's really subtle, but it just gives the vocal more depth, and when it sits in the track, it just sits a lot nicer. So that's pretty much the effect there. So now I'll play it back with the song in context. That should be down here. So that's pretty much it, guys. Thanks for watching. If you guys enjoyed this video, please subscribe, hit that like button, and also drop a comment of what you guys want to see next. And if you guys like the song, I'll leave it in the description below. Peace.